Hey, hope you're all well. This is the Shabbos Amud. So for those who did not yet have a chance to learn this, we are going to now be on the bottom of Zion Amud Beis 7b4. Tanar Banan. We have a brisa in Bodkin Lol Or HaChama. We do not search for the chametz by the light of the sun, Lol Or HaLvana, nor by the light of the moon, Lol Or HaVuka, nor by the light of a torch. El Or Haner. Rather, we search for them by the light of a candle. Why? Or Haner Yafal Bdika, because the light of a candle is effective for searching. Even though there's no proof, there is an allusion to this, and we're going to review the psukim that we mentioned in the last shir. For a 7-day period, leaven shall not be found in your homes, and that pasuk says liyamatze, and then there's a pasuk that says v'omer v'yichapes b'gadol hechel by Yosef. He searched to begin with the oldest, and so the word chipos is found in that pasuk, and the word matzah is found in that pasuk, and then there's another pasuk that also has the word chipos, which means searching. V'omer ba'isa hi achapes Yerushalayim b'neros, Hashem will search Yerushalayim with candles. V'omer ner Hashem nishmasad m'chovis kol chad rvaten. A man's soul is the candle of Hashem, which searches all the chambers of one's innards. Bottom line is we come back to the point that you should search for chametz with a candle. Hi or hachama. Now the Gemara wants to understand when the Brisa said you should not use this light of the sun. What does that mean? Hey chidama, what are we talking about? We're talking about that is in a courtyard. Rava said the courtyard does not require bedika at all. Why? Because ravens are common there. So if you're outdoors, if there's stuff outdoors, you don't have to search. If you know that there are animals over there that are going to grab up any piece of chametz, then you don't have to search there at all. So we can't be talking about the outdoors. Rather we're talking about in a pavilion. A pavilion is basically something which has like 4 posts and a roof. So the assumption is that the animals don't go there as much. It's more like human-like, and therefore the animals don't spend as much time there, and therefore you have to be concerned that maybe there'll be chametz there. Didn't Rava say that a pavilion may be searched by its own light? You're allowed to use sunlight there, so that can't be what he said when we said you can't use light. Rather, we're talking about la ruba de beched. We're talking about a skylight that's in a room. And where? If we're talking about directly beneath the skylight, that's the same thing like a pavilion, which we said you could search by the sunlight. Let's start. We're talking about the sides. So basically, what we're saying over here is that really you have to bedika at one important point. Really, of course, you have to bedika on the night. If you do not do the bedika in the night, you do the bedika during the day. Now, during the day, one could say, hey, I can use sunlight. The answer is that's only when the sun is shining directly. When the sun is shining directly, so there they had sunlight shining directly under the sunlight, you're allowed to search with the sunlight. Or it's a window and the sun is, coming directly towards the window. However, anything that where you don't have direct sunlight, it's just filling the room with the light, there you are not allowed to use the light of the sun. The Bukalo asks, a torch cannot be used. Didn't Rava say? What does it say? The glow of the next world be for the righteous like the light of the day's creation. Rays of light will come from his hand to him, but there is hidden strength. But there its hidden strength will be. So the way this pasuk is interpreted to mean, what will the righteous? In as much as we say the righteous are going to shine like the days of creation, the light of the day's creation, nonetheless, in front of the Shechina, can never avuka. In regards to the Shechina, in regards to God's divine presence, it's like a candle in front of a torch. But Marava avuka lavdala. So what do we see from there? We see a torch is obviously much greater than a candle. And further, when making Havdalah, a torch is the best way to go because a torch is a bright light. So why are we saying that a torch is not a good idea? When it comes to b'dikas chametz, so we have a couple of answers. This candle is able to be brought into small holes and cracks, but you cannot bring the light of the torch into holes and cracks. That's one reason. So if you're looking at small crevices, a candle is good, a torch is bad. The way it's interpreted to mean is that with the torch, the light is sometimes too brilliant, too bright, that it blocks you from actually seeing clearly, and therefore it's not going to be an effective way of searching because it's actually going to prevent you from seeing clearly. Or Papa, another answer, high bias, highlight bias. When you use a torch, you're afraid. You're thinking about the candle, you're thinking about the torch, you're not thinking about what you're doing, and therefore you're not going to be able to do as good of a bedika. Whereas with a candle, you're not afraid. Ravina Amar Hai Mashach Nahora V'Hai Miktaf Iktufe. When it comes to the light of the candle, it's steady, and therefore it's easier to search. When it comes to a torch, it flickers, and therefore it's not a good thing to search with. Bottom line is, once again, we say candle, as we spoke about, I believe we spoke about earlier, and the poskim talk about what about a flashlight. Many poskim say technically, really, a flashlight's okay. Some say still you should really use a candle, and therefore some land was saying start with a candle, then you can blow out the candle, use your flashlight, and a flashlight is totally fine. If you don't have a candle, a flashlight is 100% fine. The Mishnah said any place which chametz is not brought into. Whenever you say every place, you're coming to include something. So what's coming to include? To include the holes in the wall of the house that are very high or very low. Okay, so sorry, the Brisa said any place which chametz is not brought into, you don't have to search. So when it says any place chametz is not brought into, all places, what does that include? It includes the following Brisa, which is going to have a list of things which you don't have to search for chametz. What are those? Everyone's happy. Don't worry, they're just playing around. Okay, so holes in the wall of the house that are either very high or very low. If they're very high, keep in mind, back in the day, they used to keep things in crevices in their house. That was like, we have shelves, they had cracks in their home. So basically, they would put things up above. But if it's very high, people are not going to use those cracks. And if it's very low, people are not going to use those cracks. The guy gets the roof of an annex, which is a slanted roof. People are not going to put things there. The gag hamigdal, the roof of a tower-shaped closet, something which is very high. People are not going to store things there. For Efes Baka or a cattle barn, people don't put their chametz, or you put chametz there, it's going to be gone because the cattle are going to eat it. The lulin, similar with a chicken coop, masvein, a storehouse of straw. People don't keep food there, other food there, nor a storehouse of wine, a storehouse of oil. All those places do not require searching. If you have a bed that serves as a partition inside a house, and has a gap under it, needs searching. So what is he referring to? He's referring to back in the day that typically your typical house had like one room. Maybe it'd have an attic as well, or second room. But sometimes they'd want to divide rooms. They place a bed in between two rooms. And the bed, maybe it was a canopy bed, so it had like some form of partition, and that bed would divide the room. Now we're talking about, so Rav Shmuel says, if there's a gap between the bottom of the bed, the mattress, and the floor, you could put things, people put things there, and therefore you need to do dika. Or aminu. However, we have a contradiction between the first brisa and the following brisa. If there's a hole in between two apartments of a person and his neighbor, one person searches as far as hand can reach, and the other person searches as far as hand can reach. And the rest you nullify. So basically, you do need to search in a hole. Okay, that's number one. So that's contradiction number one. In our brisa, we said you don't have to search in holes. We have a bed that serves as a partition inside a house. You have lumber and stones under it, and there's a gap there. Does not need bedika. So there's a contradiction in brisa number one. Rav Gamliel says you do not need to search under a bed, and here he says, brisa number one, he says you do have to search under a bed, and brisa number two, he says you don't have to search under a bed. And in the brisa number one, it says you don't have to search in the cracks and crevices, and here it says you do. So the Gemara says no contradiction when it comes to the crevices, or the holes rather. Habi light, not crevices, hole. Basically, it's something which is like a hole, and so they put things there. Habi light, it's tight. The brisa which says you don't have to search in them, the first brisa is because they're very high or they're very low, therefore they're not typically used. The brisa, the second brisa which says you do have to search, it's when they're like the height of a person, and therefore you do typically put things there. Mita lokasha, and when it comes to beds, there's no contradiction there either. Hadamidalia. The first brisa deals with the bed that's very high up, and therefore there's a lot of space, and therefore people will put things there. Hadami tatai. Whereas the second brisa deals with the bed that's very low down, and therefore people are going to go ahead and not put things there because the fact that the bed is very low down. Okay, ask the Gemara another contradiction. Why the brisa above said that storehouses of wine do not need searching? But tell me another brisa which says the storehouses of wine do require searching. Whereas storehouses of oil do not require searching. So Gemara says the second brisa which says you do have to search in storehouses of wine is talking about a person who goes into his wine cellar while he eats, and therefore when he goes there during meals, then you do have to search, because if you go there during meals, you're eating, you're munching on something, you go there. Whereas the first brisa which says you don't is talking about like a store where they're not like eating while they're getting the stuff. It's something which is very pristine. No one's bringing any food there, or it's just a person who knows they don't bring food into the storehouse. The Gemara says Yachi Shemanami. So if the second brisa is talking about a case where a person is going to the wine storehouse, to the where they keep the wine during a meal, then why does the same brisa say when it comes to oil you don't have to check? It should be the same thing. So says no. When it comes to oil, there is a set amount. When you have a meal, okay, I'm going to have this salad, and then we're going to bring 2 cups of oil. I'm having frying some fish, I'm going to have another cup of oil. Okay, you know exactly what you're going to bring. When it comes to wine, you finish a bottle of wine. I'm sure we've all been there, and a person finishes a bottle of wine, say, let's get another bottle of wine, right? So with wine, you don't have that same sense of what it's going to be, and therefore a person likely will go back during the meal and get from there. That in as much as whereas in Eretz Yisrael they would drink wine, and when a person goes to get wine and knows that they go to get wine during the meal, they have to search that place. Similarly in Bavel, where beer was the main drink, you would have to search your beer storage place if you know that you typically get beer during your meal. Fish pantry does not require searching. But tiny brisa which seems to contradict this. It says that fish pantries do require searching. The large fish pantry of large fish, there you don't have to do bedika, because there again, before the meal, okay, I'm having 10 guests, I'm going to get 10 pieces of fish. When it comes to small ones like sushi, so there you you finish a roll of sushi, there's another piece of sushi. You keep on snacking, and they're going to go back during the meal, and that's why you do have to search it for chametz. Amar Rabba Barahuna Be Milche Vekirat Tzarech Bedika. Storehouses of salt and storehouses of wax require searching. Amar Papa Beit Sivi Beit Tamar Tzarech Bedika. Storehouse of wood and storehouse of dates require searching. All these places are places where a person goes there with their food, and therefore they require bedika. Tani Mechai Ben Osole Hachnis Yad L'Charam Stakim Livdok. A person does not have to go into put his hands into holes and cracks to search for chametz ne'asakana because of the danger. Ask the Gemara, "Ma'asakana, what's this price talking about? What danger? Inam ne'asakana is agrav. If agrav, we're talking about the danger of being bitten by a scorpion. Kimish damesh hechi hishtamish? How did he use the hole in the first place? If it's a place we're afraid that there's going to be scorpions there, why is he putting food there? There's a scorpion going to bite him. We say no. Really, it was a place that was safe. You put food there, and then it falls down. Now that it falls down, scorpions go into the fallen rubble. Ask the Gemara, but if it falls down, if it's a pile of rubble, then why do you have to search? If it's not chametz nafal alam mipolos, if chametz, a ruin, maybe like bricks, a wall falls over chametz, it's like it's been disposed of. You don't have to search. The Gemara says no. There's a distinction. Depends how deep the chametz is. If it's deep enough that a dog is able to get it still. If it's not so deep that a dog's able to get it, which is 3 tvachim, then you do have to do a bedika. But if it's so deep that a dog would not be able to get it, it's very deep, that's when you won't have to search. Asking Mar v'hamar Elazar shlicha mitzvah in zokin. What didn't we say that those who are sent to perform mitzvah are not harmed? So if a person's searching for chametz, they shouldn't be harmed from the scorpion. Rashi says no. Maybe a person lost something else. The example he gives is a needle. And a person's going to go and search for the needle as well, and therefore, when he's searching for the needle, he's going to be doing something else which is not mitzvah oriented. Ask the Gemara, who is that not a mitzvah? A person says that this cell is donated to charity so that my son will live. Or they say that the person says I'm going to merit for olam haba, and they can give tzedakah. So how's it tzaddik amar? The person is a complete tzaddik by doing, even though they're doing a mitzvah and they're doing something which is self-centered, well, not self-centered in a bad way, but it's something which is focused on themselves. They're still considered a tzaddik. So over here too, I'm searching for chametz, and I'm searching for the needle as well. Grab a seat. I'm just finishing up yesterday's shir. Grab a seat at the table. Then I'm still considered tzaddik gomer. So Gemara says dilma de basar v'dabak, after maybe basar devadak, after he finished searching for chametz, asli yune basar, then the person is going to come looking for the needle. So basically, Rashi is explaining that granted, when he went ahead and started looking, even if he's looking for the needle at the same time, that's not. Then he'll be protected. There's a special idea when a person's doing a mitzvah, then Hashem protects them. However, the problem is maybe he'll find the chametz and then he'll continue looking for something which is not mitzvah oriented, and therefore he is going to potentially be in a situation of harm. Okay, the Gemara is going to continue and clarify a little bit more about this idea of shluchei mitzvah lo nizokin, this idea that a person does a mitzvah will not be harmed. Okay, how far reaching is that? Does that mean if I go ahead and do a mitzvah, I could run across 695 and go give tzedakah? What's going on? So we'll see. Rav Nachman gives another explanation. Then the Brisa says that you don't have to go so deep. You have to look in the holes is because of the danger of Gentiles. Uplemahi, and the opinion is the opinion of Plemo. The Tanya was taught in the Brisa. Let's have a wall between a non-Jew lives over here and a Jew lives over here. So the Tanakhama says you search as far as your hand can reach, and then you nullify the rest. You nullify, you can't reach the rest, and what's on the other side, that's already belongs to the non-Jew. However, Plimo Omer called Atzma and Abodek you don't search that place at all. Ma'asakana, what's the danger here? So Inam Askanas Kashafim, we want to say the danger is witchcraft, that the Aramean will see him using this hole, and he's going to think that he's going ahead and putting some potions and some spells, and he's directing it through the hole. Then how did he use the hole in the first place? The Gemara says no. When he used the hole, it was during the daytime. It was naturally light, and therefore the non-Jew never thought of it because what's the big deal? A person's using the hole. However, Hachalil Yishragahu, now at night, he's using it to search for chametz. It's nighttime, he's using a candle. That's going to cause the neighbor to get very nervous and think that he is a witch, using witchcraft to attack him. And of course, witchcraft, not that long ago here in America, what they do to, if someone was accused of witchcraft, they would of course kill them. And of course over here, the concern was using witchcraft to harm the non-Jew, then of course that would be something which would be quite dangerous. Ask the Gemara, I don't understand. Why isn't the person allowed to go ahead and do so, or should be commanded to do so? Because granted there's a danger, but at the end of the day, we just established this principle above, that shluchei mitzvah in nizoken, that a person who goes ahead and does mitzvahs, they are not harmed in any way. So the Gemara says, where the harm is likely, it's different. In other words, this principle of shluchei mitzvah in nizoken, that a person does a mitzvah is not going to be harmed, that's only when it's something which is a remote danger, and normally even for remote danger, we should be cautious, we should be careful. However, if I'm doing a mitzvah, I can say, okay, so there's a remote danger, but I'm doing a mitzvah, therefore it's okay. However, when it comes to something which is very common danger, again, like we said, like running across 695 to a mitzvah, that you can't do. We bring an amazing proof. Shnei Pasuk says in Shmuel, so Shmuel was told by Hashem that he should go anoint David HaMelech. However, he was concerned because if he's going to go ahead and anoint David HaMelech, then Shaul had was quite angry, was quite upset, and he was going to go ahead and he was afraid that he's going to kill him. And so Hashem said, fine, Hashem gave him a whole thing. But the bottom line is, what do you see? That over here, Hashem literally just told Shmuel, to go do a mitzvah. It's not like, you and I, we have a mitzvah, we read it in the Torah, we know we're supposed to do it, okay, and then we go ahead and do the mitzvah. Over here, Hashem literally just told Shmuel, what to do, and nonetheless, he's afraid he's going to get hurt. So what do you see from here? That if it's a very practical or reasonable concern that there's going to be a danger, then that is a mitzvah, that is a mitzvah that a person should not do, and that's a mitzvah that a person will not be protected. It's only when there's a remote chance, that's when Hashem will protect a person when doing a mitzvah.